So talk to me about give me like 3 university highlights. What are the best for your university experience? Why are you really glad you went?
Oh, okay. I think friends. This is in no particular order, by the way.
Okay.
But the friends you meet at university, particularly on your course, have the same interests as you, and they want to go into they have the same passion. So you have a connection with them that it can be really rewarding and help you to succeed. So, for example, obviously I've mentioned I'm going into police, and that's because my friend went into police 2 years ago, and he studied criminology with me, and we've always talked about it as the end game, as what we wanted to achieve. And he helped me through my application process a little bit as well, gave me that confidence and a little bit of a boost to try and get me to apply and things like this. But it's because I met him at university, and I met similar people to him as well at university with that passion, and it helps you to go along, continue with your passion, and get those jobs you want. Secondly,
Actually, 2 seconds. While you're on friends, I think that's
yeah,
quite interesting because we talked about influence of peers earlier as if it affects you just when you're younger.
Yeah,
It doesn't go away, I don't think.
it doesn't go away. No,
I think you get better at realizing positive influences and negative, but I think we're quite a lot of us are similar in the fact that we want to make friends, we want to have people we like around us, and I don't think that ever stops. So, but university, like you said, gives you the opportunity to meet potentially similar-minded people. So the friends that I have from where I'm from, we're bound by geography. So we were friends growing up because we lived together, and we were the most like-minded people within that region, and then we bonded. Whereas by going to university, you give yourself the opportunity to meet a really like-minded person from Newcastle or from France or from Norway or Wales or wherever it might be around the world. Like the UK university is global, so it's not just people in the UK you meet. It's you have other opportunities. I've got friends that I can go to sort of different countries and stay for free still, which is lovely.
Well done you. I don't.
Yeah, just lucky.
I didn't branch out that much, actually. I think maybe the university itself wasn't that international, but certainly the people I met were very different in terms of their backgrounds and where they grew up, and that can broaden your mind a bit as well. I think I had a bit of a coming from the area I was from, council estate. I kind of felt, what's the word? I didn't have any angst against people who had all the opportunities that I maybe didn't. Okay, yeah, I did. I had like a small problem with, and I always perceived university as being this place where the posh lads go, and you think they're all going to be really snobby and things like this, but actually, the majority of the time, they're just like you, and they've had similar experiences to you, especially nowadays with the amount of diversity in universities. You do get a lot of people that are from similar areas or that have completely different experiences, which can really benefit you as well. So that was really helpful. So 2, what's the second thing? You should have told me that you were going to ask me this.
Yeah, but I like to surprise you, don't I?
It's tough. Probably building on that. So although, don't get me wrong, the course itself was really insightful, really I took a lot of things away from it, but building personal skills I'd probably put that second, because I probably put that as more important, because although my career has ended up where it is and I am going to use that degree to purpose, it was the skills I got along the way that has led me there. So being able to present, being able to develop pieces of work, reports, produce statistics and things like that, that has all helped me in the jobs that I'm in now. The job I've had before, it's helped me to show some initiative, and that's kind of like unspoken at times. Like people don't really talk about the soft skills you learn throughout university as much as they do the academic side of things. But that was really useful for me. And then finally, the social life. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, because I do think that's different to making friends. Because I just
it
think
is different.
I think the experience
You learn about what you like and what you don't like. You learn about how you want your life to look after university, and the kind of people you meet and the kind of people you enjoy their company of. You can find similar minded people after university. You kind of work out the job you want to do. You kind of work out where you want to live. I mean, I still live in my university town because I liked it so much. Don't get me wrong, I visited loads of other towns and I thought about moving. And when I worked with you, I obviously moved back home. But this is kind of like the place that I wanted to come back to. So, and that could only be experienced by me getting out, me going and having a look at the things that are around. And when I say social life, I don't mean just nightlife, I mean everything else around it. So whether it's going to a cinema that's just down the road from here. So I grew up in the countryside. I used to have to drive an hour to go to a cinema. Now I can walk there.
Yeah.
Or, you know, a Wagamama's. God, that's just around the corner for me.
Just
I can get
Snapchatting
there
your
in
old
5
mates, are
minutes.
you? Outside
Yeah.
Nando's, like, "Eee."
And they are, you know, at home with fields surrounding them for miles and miles. But knowing that that's where I wanted to be. I wanted to be in a town, or a large town, or a city, because that's how I want everything easier access. It's better for me mentally to be around people who are close by, and that I can do things straight away at a drop of a hat, as opposed to pre-planning and things like that. So yeah, I think that's most important. How about you?
Yeah, it's a tough question that I've made up on the spot, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I would say
You can't pick any of mine now either.
I think the number one thing for me is that personal development. Absolute leap. I can't even describe it as anything else. But it was interesting because I used to go home at the end of every term, or like probably every 6 weeks, every half term, just for a bit. Because what me and my friends from home used to do is we used to come back on the same weekends. So we would all be messaging saying, "Oh, when's everyone going back?" And if there was 3 or 4 of you, you would all make sure it's the same weekend, so you could still have the night out and all that sort of stuff
Catch
as
up
well.
and things,
And catch up, yeah. And my parents' family were just like, it's just different. The way I walk, the way I talk, I was happier, I think. I was just so
it's
much
exciting,
more,
isn't it?
Yeah. Every time they just said it's just so much more of you coming out, like, and so and almost like the fear and anxiety is going, and I guess it's man, isn't it? Like you go from a boy to a man, and I think that's for me happened while that university process really brought that out in me. So, and if I look back on myself at 18, if I even say I got an apprenticeship at 18, like an amazing apprenticeship, I would have flunked that. I don't think I would have stepped up at 18. I don't think I had the skills required to.
I don't know how I would have done. Yeah,
No.
if I'd gone straight to uni at 18, I don't think I would have coped like you did. Like I would have struggled. I think, and particularly because it wasn't set. It wasn't. My mind wasn't like 100%. I need to go. That only happened later on. But you're right.
Which is fine with part-time work, right? Which is what you did, where you're not,
Yeah.
you might not end up doing that forever, and you're sort of doing it in the meantime. But imagine if it's like your Rolls-Royce apprenticeship, or I don't know what other things.
A big opportunity that will go on your
leasing
CV.
degree apprenticeships that are just coming
Yeah.
right? It's perfectly relevant to you. Like
if you took it up and then you didn't go down that road,
and
that's a different scenario altogether to go into uni.
Yeah, and I don't think I would have. I just don't think I would have come across very well, if I'm honest. And I feel like it's quite hard to change someone's reputation, someone's perception of you once you've made it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that at 21, I was able to make good impressions. I would after uni. 18, I'm not sure I was mature enough. I think I was making too many mistakes. I was a little bit too selfish at times and stuff like that I just needed to get out of my system a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, number 2 is I think it's like I've just got so many funny mistake stories around like people that I've met or just random experiences that I just wouldn't have ever had in any other environment. And the best way to say it is you're never, ever, ever gonna get a load of majority of students who go are probably between 18 and 20, aren't they? 21.
They start, yeah.
Yeah. That's the probably majority. So you'll never when are you ever going to get like 1,000 students or 10,000 students, all of the same age, studying lots of different things in the same environment? Like there's no other life circumstances that gives you that. And
That's good. Halls was it was a good time.
Because it's like we sort of said before, it's like supported living, but
Yeah.
there's loads of benefits to just being around young people your own age and just like the random weird stuff that you do and
like turning your friend's furniture all upside down.
Yeah,
when they're out of their room.
The pranks, the gravy stuff in the shower head. That was always a good one.
Sorry, I like that.
It's good. And then clean film in the toilet as well.
I had that in my head. I didn't think I'd say it on this podcast, but
that's all right. We can edit. But like, and it's
You're giving them ideas now.
Well, I just hope they do better.
Whoever listens to this is not making any friends. Not if they do things like this.
No.
Not at first. Give it a few weeks.
Don't
Don't
make sure you're nice to
everyone.
I think another thing about university, and it probably links to what I said about that unique environment, is most people don't know anyone. So it's the only other time as well that you're around people your own age who are really, really willing to make new friends, because you sort of otherwise you might be in your own groups. So it just gives you that, what's the right word? Like it creates an environment where you can actually just meet people, I think, which is good.
Kind of forces the environment.
Yeah.
So it's easier. For me, I think going to university beforehand, I was joining loads of Facebook groups and things, so that when I got there, I knew some names, some people. I didn't feel quite so paranoid. I'd strongly recommend that anyone listening.
Yeah,
definitely go onto the university pages and see if there's any groups on there where they're already talking about getting started. It was the build up as well, which made it even more exciting. Knowing that you've got some people there who have similar anxieties about it all helps massively.
Yeah, really good tip actually. 100%. Can't add anything more to that.
But then I got lucky because I went straight down to the lunch hall, sat down at the table on my own, and there were 3 guys sat on the other table, and they went, "Do you want to come sit with me?" I was like, "Oh, that was easy." I went straight over there, sat with them, and they were like, "Oh, what halls are you in?" And they were the floor below me. So
cool.
Straight away, I was like, "Oh, brilliant. Okay." I latched onto those. They couldn't escape me for 3 years, but got there. So, but yeah.
And again, that doesn't happen if you're in a normal bar, in wherever you're from, and you're sat on your own. How many groups of 3 say, "Oh, do you want to come join us?" It doesn't happen, really. I've never seen it.
But they understand, especially in that first couple of weeks at uni. They know that if they've managed to latch onto someone really early on, they know that there's another person out there just like them, wandering around, confused, a bit scared. so friendly. So worked
Cool.
out nicely.